Good morning. Happy Saturday, because it is in fact Saturday morning at 7:30. I kind of had wanted to wake up earlier, but it is what it is. It's fine. I still woke up really early and I get to enjoy the entirety of my Saturday. I have a stack of books. In no way, shape, or form am I saying that I'm going to get through this entire stack of books. Just options to pick from, because they're all on my physical TBR. So it'd be nice to take some of them off of my physical TBR by reading them. I picked up The Natural History of Dragons. Guys, The Natural History of Dragons was in an unhaul box that I was going through the 4 boxes that I had of books to unhaul so I could figure out like where we're going, what we're doing. That's another thing. I want to go to little free libraries today and drop off books. Don't forget. And I pulled this out and I was like, do I want to read this? Like, I unhauled it once already. So I read like the first 10 pages of it. It's about a young woman named Isabella Trent, and you read it. So the narrator is Isabella when she's much, much older. Like, let's say she's in her 80s. She's telling you the story of her life when she was a young woman, from the moment that she discovers that she likes natural history, gets married, discovers her obsession with dragons, goes on her first expedition. She's telling you the story about herself. So there's moments where she breaks the fourth wall, and I fucking love it. But I also just love Isabella. Like, I love her as a character, and I love the narrator who does the audiobook, but I also just love the narrator in the book, Isabella as an older woman. Like, I love all the versions of Isabella. I'm having so much fun. And then I have 2, I guess, that could be considered horror. Well, I know We Used to Live Here is definitely a horror, like psychological horror. I don't know if it's supernatural, and that's what I'm a little worried about, because the supernatural shit is the stuff that won't let me sleep at night. So I'm a little worried, but I mean, I've read it before. I just literally sleep with all the lights on for like 2 weeks. So I have this, and then I also have Annihilation. I watched the movie a long, long time ago. I watched it 3 times because I did not understand what I watched. And I was starting to understand, but I still don't understand the fucking ending to that movie at all. But I love that movie. Like, it's one of my favorite movies ever. It's so good. So I kind of want to see if the book lives up to my love of the movie, I guess. So I have this, and this is wicked short. So this is one that I could definitely read later on today and probably finish tonight. So I have these 2 as options. And then I have what I think are 2 YA books. I know Red Queen is definitely YA. I want to read a nostalgic YA series again. Like, The Prison Healer killed it last year. Cruel Prince, it wasn't so much nostalgic, but in the sense of like reading like YA fantasy series when I was in high school, it wasn't that nostalgic, but it was nostalgic in the sense of like Holly Black she really didn't reinvent the fairies. Like, she went back to the OG fairies and worked off of them. And I just thought it was so good. It was so good, and I love Jude with my entire heart. Like, she is such a fucking badass. I love her. Would love to read The Red Queen, because I really do think that this will give me the same feeling. And I read the first book a long time ago. I was a kid long time ago. Definitely read Red Queen, but I never continued the series. So I would love to do that. My only worry is that if I do that and I finish it and I love it, I don't have the other books. Maybe that's what I'll do today when I go to the bookstores. I will see if either of them has the second book to that series, because at least that would tide me over a little bit. And then I think this is YA. I'm honestly not sure. But based on the fact that this is a hardcover and it's only $20, I'm going to say it's YA. Because adult hardcovers are like $45. But I think this is like a little bit more gothic. I don't know that it has any like supernatural, paranormal, fantasy. I don't know about that. Maybe magical realism, so maybe a little bit. But I just know that I didn't read this in October when I got it from Book of the Month, and I fucking regret it. Because it just looks so fucking good. Look at the cover. And then if you look at the back of it, like, it just looks so good. I just want to read it. So this is on the list. This is a book that I could pick as well. So I've got 4 options once I'm done with The Natural History of Dragons. But for right now, I am going to chug my matcha. I wonder what it sounds like through the mic. Back to reality. Now, I do have the audiobook for The Natural History of Dragons, but I've been liking just kind of eyeball reading it too. So I have the audiobook in case I want to get up and do something. I can listen to it while I'm doing it. But for now, I think I'm just gonna eyeball read it. So they're in this village and they were supposed to meet up with somebody that's familiar with the area so that they could go looking for dragons on this expedition. The guy is nowhere to be found. We don't know where he got lost. We don't know what happened to him. So they're kind of trying to figure out how they're going to continue the expedition, but they're trying to do it on their own. So they've got to do the mapping to see if they can find the caves where some of the dragons live. They got to figure out what supplies they need. They got to plan the transportation, all that stuff. They have to do themselves now. So instead of having that person who's familiar with the area help them with it and maybe even like do it for them. So for some reason, this village, they seem to wake up in the middle of the night. Everybody seems to wake up in the middle of the night and just have like a somewhat short period of time, like maybe like a couple of hours where they're just like awake, but like it is the middle of the night, but they're awake. And I don't know what they do exactly, it hasn't been said, but Isabella wakes up and she is walking around. She ends up in the like study or like the workroom that they have where they do most of their planning and plotting and stuff. And she opens a window and all of this is like, you know, it's very much so the young Isabella, like it feels like the young Isabella is kind of narrating that part. And then the older one, it just kind of feels like the older Isabella breaks the fourth wall. She goes, I pray you forgive me if I temporarily postpone the true purpose of this narration to speak about that sky. She does that just like here and there. And I just love it. I feel like she's actually telling me this story. Like I'm actually sitting down with Isabella Trent in her 80s and she's telling me about what her life was like right now when she's 19 years old and she's on her first expedition. And I just think it's incredibly written. It's incredibly well written. Oh my God, I missed a word. The only thing I didn't like, but I guess it's just a thing of the times, obviously, because this book is written in like, think Bridgerton times, I guess. Maybe even before that. She was talking about one of the girls from the village that is kind of like to be her maid. Because when you go on these expeditions, there's no maids. She shouldn't even be on the expedition. The way that she was like talking about the girl in the beginning when they first met and like, I need to set myself above her. Like I need her to, I really hated that. Like those inner thoughts were pissing me the fuck off. Even if it's my favorite character, like I hate when they have moments like that because it just, that's a human being. Just because you guys don't speak the same language doesn't mean they're not. I don't know, it just bothered me a little bit. But older Isabella narrating the story has come to acknowledge moments when younger Isabella in the story has maybe been ignorant or been like unappreciative of something. That older Isabella is like, I really should have appreciated that more, or it wasn't that serious, or I owed a little bit more respect to XYZ than I gave when I was younger. So I'm wondering if that'll come up at some point. I don't know. But that was like the one thing, and it was literally like 2 pages maybe. And I was just kind of like, Isabella, you're being a real bitch right now. Isabella! Ugh, she's like the queen of fuck around and find out. She's got carried off Fred Flintstone style. I can't. She's so fucking funny. She's literally getting kidnapped. She's like, so it was to be a kidnapping then. At least to begin with. And my blood ran cold at the possible sequel. Like, it's a fucking movie. It's not a movie. You literally just got kidnapped. Isabella, be serious, please. Oh. That's actually kind of sad. Damn. I look crazy. I feel like I look crazy. Anyways, I finished it. I finished A Natural History of Dragons. It was incredible. I was not expecting it to be sad, but it did get sad at the end. It was really sad, actually, at the end. I loved all of the characters. I thought that they were so like nuanced and they felt real and gritty, but they were inspiring as well. Just their curiosity and their need to know and to understand things that confused them or that felt unknown to them. I loved that about the characters. I loved the narrator. The writing style is fun, but it's captivating. It was just incredible. It was a really good book. And I'm so happy that I pulled this out of that unhaul box because it was a really good book. I think if you like dragons, and I'm not necessarily talking about like Fourth Wing, like we ride dragons and fight wars, but like if you just like the concept of dragons in your fantasies, I think this might work for you because you don't enter this world knowing all of this information about dragons that the author kind of feeds you through the characters, whatever. You know as much as the characters do about dragons, and what they're doing is discovering dragons and studying them, You get to see kind of like from their point of view what it feels like to appreciate and admire a creature, but also have this strong desire to study it and understand it, and how those two things can clash sometimes. There's like a mystery that kind of gets introduced in the story, and it's really cool to kind of see it play out. And it doesn't really play out in like a very, it's not very explosive or anything like that, but it just adds like a nice touch to the story. You're not just on an expedition and they're learning about dragons. There's also this mystery in this village, and they are putting the pieces together to solve it. It was incredible. It was fucking incredible. I can't wait to get my hands on the second book. I can't wait. I really thoroughly enjoyed this. It's great because I think all of the stories follow her life. So like in this one, she's like 19-ish. Based on like the way that I've read bits of the synopsis, because like I don't want to read the whole thing in case it's like spoilers or something, but it seems like the next book is maybe like her next expedition, or like she's a little bit older at that point, and then the next one is the next expedition and she's a little bit older. So like it feels like you can kind of read their separate stories in a sense, even though you follow the same characters, so you have that connection to the new story. This is one of those books that caught me by surprise, and I'm so happy about it. Well, book one done. It is like 8 something at night because I can't focus and like ever just do something all the way through. I have to get up and like do other stuff in the meantime. So I think we're getting on to play around 9. It's 8:37. Yeah. So I just asked my brothers and my nephew if 9 o'clock works. So we might get on at 9. In the meantime, though, I only have 20 minutes, but I was thinking of maybe testing some of the books I have on the table over there to see if I want to read any of them. Wow, I look crazy. I don't know what's going on with my hair today. If I'm being honest, I can tell you it feels intentional. It feels intentional because that piece is long enough where it can go in the clip and stay in the clip. So why are you out of the clip? That's all I'm saying. Okay, so I think I told you guys earlier that earlier in the day, I was thinking about what I wanted to read next, and I was kind of torn between Annihilation and Red Queen. So I think what I'm going to do is maybe read like the first chapter of each, depending on how long they are. Guys, Annihilation doesn't have chapters. It just has like, it said 01 integration, 01 initiation, 02 integration. The first one is like 40 pages. Okay, so maybe I won't read a full chapter. I know for a fact this will happen. A shorter first chapter. I might go with Red Queen to start. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to read the first chapter of Red Queen and see how I like it, I guess. Because that's the only way I can think of to help me decide what to read next, you know? I'm going to read Red Queen. I'm going to read Red Queen. I'm like in it. You have my attention at 4 pages in. Like, I am like fully engrossed in this. I'm like, what's going on? What is First Friday? Like, I like it. I like it so far. I'm literally 4 pages in. I like it. Oh. Telki, like telekinetic? Right? Oh, his blood is actually silver. Okay, sorry. I don't know why I wasn't grasping that, even though it was clearly said already. Okay, that's fine. I'm slow sometimes. That was kind of intense. There you have it, folks. We're reading Red Queen. We are reading Red Queen today by Victoria Aveyard. Aveyard? It looks like it's 4 books. Was this? No, is this part of it? No. Yeah, it looks like it's only 4 books. But if I feel like I've seen one of the 2 last books in the bookstore before, she's thick. She's thick. So I'm going to put some of this stuff back because there's like a mess of books and stuff around me right now. And I will chat with you guys later tonight or maybe even tomorrow morning. Most likely tomorrow morning. Oh my goodness. It is no, it's not. It's Tuesday. I had so many intentions yesterday. We were gonna come home after I picked up my daughter from daycare. We were gonna come home. We were gonna do dinner together. And then I was gonna sit down and read because during the day I did get a chance to read I did one reading sprint and then I didn't have a chance after that again. And then I thought last night, okay, we're gonna come home. We're gonna get to read. We're gonna do some Legos together. And I'll listen to my audiobook while I'm doing my Lego. My daughter's she's 4. She's really good with her own Legos. As long as you kind of like get her started, she knows how to figure out the rest of the instructions in the book. Do you think, let's gamble. Do you think that child allowed me to do anything yesterday? We had an accident in the car, which is totally fine. Totally fine. I washed the thing overnight. By the morning time, it was dry. The padding for the car seat. We washed the clothes. The clothes they're clean now. Yeah, they're in the dryer. They're clean now. She can wear the clothes again, right? I don't take accidents, like potty accidents, very seriously because it's really not that big of a deal. At the end of the day, like, you can just clean it up. We can just clean it up. And it's an accident, so it's not done on purpose, is the point, right? I don't know if it was maybe, because this has happened before when she's had accidents. I think that she kind of gets like embarrassed, maybe. And it like is a lingering embarrassment because we came home and everything was fine. I was like, let's go take a bath now instead of later on. You can change your clothes and then I can throw the stuff in the washing machine. She had a blister on her foot from some new sandals that she got when she was at her grandma's. Not a big deal at all. It's really not that big of a deal. And for some reason, she had it in her head that if she put her foot down in the bathtub, the water was going to burn her blister. And I was like, well, maybe the water's too hot. So I went and I tested it. It wasn't hot. It was like room temp, a little cooler on the room temp spectrum, just because she doesn't like hot water, that's fine, whatever. I damn near made that water icicle cold. And she still, but it wasn't just like no, I don't want to put my foot down. It was like the whole time, like just screeching in my ear. And I don't know what it is about this fucking apartment that I can't stand anymore. It feels like when she yells, it just like echoes off the wall, like ricochets off the wall back into my ear a second round. So I get it the first time because she's right next to my head. Toddlers never yell unless your face is near them. And then I'm getting like a double play because it's going off the wall and going in my ear. Oh my God, y'all. I went to bed last night and I felt like my ears were ringing. My head hurt. I was trying to hold back tears because, of course, in my head, I'm thinking, did I handle that correctly? Did I make her feel like I'm questioning everything I did during that whole thing? It was a mess. It was a fucking disaster when we came home last night. So we did end up doing our Legos together, but I didn't listen to my audiobook. It was very much so just like me and her doing Legos together, talking, just trying to like regulate both of us before we had to go to bed. And we went to bed early last night. We sure did. Anyway, so I didn't really read too much after work. I'm on page 260. I think I'm like 60% through. I only have this little bit left right there. It's getting really good. I see a lot of odes to the Hunger Games. I'm sure that there are odes to other things in here as well. The Hunger Games are the ones that I read and like remember the most. Anyway, sorry, this is my boss asking me a question, so I want to make sure I answered her. Like I said, lots of odes to the Hunger Games, but done a little bit differently. Like there are moments where I'm like, oh, this reminds me of the Hunger Games, but I think it's also just like the tension and the stakes more so. I'm really, really enjoying it. I'm loving it. I'm really glad that I picked up another YA series because I don't know, like whenever I feel like I can't pick what to read, I don't know what to read, I can't focus, nothing's catching my attention. I feel like a YA book always gets me. Like a YA fantasy always grabs my attention and holds it, which is why I think I tend to finish those series a little bit faster. But anyways, kind of thinking I want to read a romance next or something. I don't know. I just feel aimless. I don't know. If it's not Glass Sword, we'll have to see. No, I said I was going to read Hazelthorn. I'll be changing my own mind. You see, I said I was going to do something, so I said I don't want to do that anymore. Bitch, you said you were going to do it. Nobody told you to do it. You chose to do it. I don't want to do it anymore. I'm going to do a reading sprint. Let's do 30 minutes of reading. And then when I'm done with my 30 minutes, I will do 30 minutes of work. Or maybe 45 minutes. I don't know. I don't really have much. I finished everything earlier because I don't want to be busy anymore. I'm tired of being busy. I'm also when my daughter has breakdowns like that, it takes a lot for me to regulate myself throughout all of that. Because obviously me being dysregulated isn't going to help her in any way. I have to be able to regulate myself and then help her learn how she needs to regulate herself. But I'm not going to lie, I'm always left exhausted. Like, I fell into bed last night and just passed out. And this morning I woke up and I still feel like a residual from that last night. If I'm being honest, parenting is one of the hardest things. It's the hardest thing I have ever done. I think it's the hardest thing I will ever do. I love my kid. She's amazing. She's like perfection and a little human. But I would never lie to anybody and be like, oh yeah, you'll get the hang of it. No, the fuck you won't. You're going to be tired every day of your life. There should be like a support group for parents. Like, anyways. Oh, do you want me to show you my turtle? I can show you my turtle that I made yesterday. Hold on. We have to go walk over here. And I gotta turn on the light really quick too. Hold on. Look at him. Isn't he so cute? And he has a little lotus flower too. I think I'm gonna name him Simon though. I don't know why. Simon the turtle sounds really good in my opinion. Okay. All right. Okay. I finished the book. I finished it. That was really good. That was really, really good. I'm so happy that I read that. I do need to update my Fable. There's like at least like 10 or 15 books on Fable that I've finished and I just haven't rated them. That'll be a weekend activity because that's probably going to take me a while to do. Can you even hear me? This was like on my desk. I don't know if you could even hear me that whole time. Red Queen, fantastic, amazing, highly recommend. Everything about it was incredible. Every single page, every single word, every punctuation mark was incredible, y'all. It was, I just want to like, you know how you get like cute aggression? I get like good book aggression. I just want to like, it was so good. Damn it. Sometimes I hate finishing good books because then it's like, okay, well now what? What do I do now? Where do I go from here? Damn, that was fire. That was a really good book. That was a banger. I don't know what other words kids use this day, but that was good. That was lit. I don't know that word applies in this situation. I don't know. I think I told you guys I finished Red Queen. Yeah, I hyped that up for a hot minute there. Finished Red Queen. When I came home last night, I decided to read to start We Used to Live Here. At first, I started working on Hazelthorn. I don't know why. I put it down for like 2 seconds, and then when I sat back down on the couch, I was like, well, let me see if there's something else in the pile that I might want to read. And I picked up We Used to Live Here. I read the first. Where's that doggy here? I read the first 106 pages. I was actually really scared. Yeah, I actually got really freaked out reading this, and I ended up putting it down because I couldn't go to bed with this on my mind. This woman, Eve and her partner Charlie buy this house, and they have the intention to renovate it and then sell it. So like they're gonna flip it. And these people knock on the door while Charlie is out and Eve is by herself to ask if they can tour the place. The dad is like, yeah, I used to live here as a kid and I wanted to show my family what my childhood home looked like. And then she says, yes. So it took a really long time for her to get to the yes part. Like, she went back and forth in her own inner monologue, pretended to call her partner Charlie, said no at first, and then the little girl that was with them, started to sound like seem sad about not being able to see her dad's house. So then she said, yeah, it's fine. And the whole family is just fucking sketchy. Shady as hell. Shady as hell. The dad is a weirdo, but honestly, he also seems like the most normal. To be honest, he just looks like he's got a little bit of trauma when it comes to that house. His daughter is fucking creepy. His daughter is creepy. The girl goes and hides in a nook in the basement. Like, she goes under the basement floor or something and hides down there because she likes to play hide and seek. And I'm like, what? Are you insane? Hide and seek my ass. I would drag my daughter out by her hair. We're not hiding in basement floors. That's crazy work. Gently drag her out by her hair, of course. So there's just like really weird stuff going on. And then in between every chapter, every couple of chapters, there's like these weird it's called this. Like they say doc. It says doc, and then it's just like something. Like this one is about an online post about a toy, a really creepy toy that resembles something that Eve used to have when she was a kid. And then there's another one from the Rhode Island Daily Paper. Case is, there's something going on with this house. There's something going on with this family who got snowed in the house with Eve and Charlie. Eve wakes up in the morning, Charlie's gone, and the family's making breakfast in her kitchen. I just so many different things in this book where I was like, it would never happen to me. It could never happen to me because I would have never opened the door to begin with. I would have pretended not to be home. Oh, you saw me in the window? No, the fuck you didn't. Who did you see? Because it wasn't me. I'm not home. It's just a whole bunch of weird shit, but it's really, really fucking scary so far. You know, Eve pisses me off. Eve is what we kindly refer to as a dumb bitch. There would be no book. There would be no book if Eve was any different. There'd be no book. So I guess it makes sense. But also, what the... I'm done. I'm done. You just saw some scary shit in the woods by your house. You saw somebody standing by the woods near your house. And then all of a sudden they walk into the woods and poof. They literally says, dissolved into the fog. What fucking brand, what bootleg brand of dumb do you have to be to then follow that person into the woods? Eve is stressing me out. She's causing me so much anxiety, it's not even funny. I did finish We Used to Live Here. I think it was like Thursday or Friday I finished it. It was really good. I had a good time reading it because it did freak me out. It did make me start to question Eve's reality. It made me question my reality a little bit just because like it kind of fucks with your head a little bit. If you've ever watched the movie Inception and you like that kind of thing where you're kind of like you're going past that first level of consciousness, subconsciousness, I don't know. You go past that first level and you're diving deep and you're kind of changing the foundation of somebody's like thoughts and memories. I think that the author did a really good job with that without making it too complicated. Towards the end, it got a little convoluted and I started to feel like, what is actually going on? But that is how the main character felt too. So I feel like that was good. That was okay that I felt like that because I was feeling it through Eve. I really enjoyed it. I really did. I liked the writing style. Sometimes the like jumping from it wasn't necessarily time jumps per se, but there's like a little bit of jumping along the timeline. I'm going to leave it at that because I don't know how else to explain it, but there's like a little bit of jumping between Eve's physical reality and the mental reality. There's like a split there. And then you have like the other characters too. Like it's just really intriguing. And I think that the way that the author kind of like brought together some of those pieces towards the end was done in a really unique way, but it still gave me closure. Like it still answered my questions, you know? I feel like it's one of those endings that I will never fully understand. But that actually is one of those books that I would be willing to reread. Not anytime soon because I do have to kind of like let myself forget certain parts of it, but I would be willing to reread that to see what it feels like the second time around and like how I interpret certain scenes when I'm rereading them instead. It was really good. It was really good. It was really scary as far as I don't like paranormal, like religious, supernatural. I don't like not supernatural, paranormal. I don't like that kind of stuff. It actually really does scare me. But I think the author did it in a way where it was a lot of fun and it still freaked me out, but I'm not left like constantly looking over my shoulder afterwards. So really enjoyed it. I would recommend. I do have a question for you. If you've ever done Summerween, I think it's called, where like I've seen a lot of booktubers do it where they only read like horror books for a week or something. If you've ever done it, can you let me know like I don't know what your experience is like if you followed certain prompts or if there's somebody who's a kind of like the creator of that or somebody I don't know, I have to do a little bit of research, but I would like to partake in Summerween this year because I like reading horror and I like reading different types of horrors because I'm still trying to figure out which ones I like the most. I know psychological horrors are my favorite. I like when you start to fuck with my head a little bit while I'm reading. But yeah, if you've ever done Summerween, let me know kind of like how you went about it. Anyways, I will see you guys for the next video. As always, thank you so much for watching and happy reading.